It's time to rock and roll again, or flop again. We will see. 11 rounds of crazy blitz chess coming up, and let's start with a Dutch defense. And we're playing against the CM from Austria, I think that is. And we've still got to use this stupid chess.com program, Proctor. And I don't think everyone has to use it, just great players like myself. And I've had this position loads of time before. Now we can castle here and give up on b7. There's a couple of ways you can play this. This is the more risky and probably not the better way to play. And the idea of this one, well, of course, is to bring the queen over here. But my opponent's being quite crafty and he's avoiding castling, which is probably a wise idea. So I'm going to play some useful moves. That last move is aimed against knight d5, and I just want to see where he puts his king. Because if he goes this way, we have to change plans somewhat, and I'll probably have to try to open him up with some idea like that. But he's avoiding those moves, and maybe this is a useful move just to try to put a bit of pressure on e4, and maybe f4 as well. He's got to put his king somewhere at some moment. The reason he's avoid castling, I think he's understandably worried about the queen coming here. Now if he castles now, I might have pawn here takes, bishop takes h3. And do remember to like and subscribe, because then I'll do this thing with my eyelids, which is very charming, right? So my opponent has now castled, and what do we do? So he's going to go here. Quite an interesting position. So my next thought is I want knight b4. And he's pushing my bishop back. And I want to also have knight takes knight. So I don't want my bishop to be there. And he's playing well, I have to admit. He's playing good moves so far. So let's get rid of that one and try to start some attack here. Because if I take there, his knight comes in. Why do I always struggle in the first game? Is it because I'm just shit? Is that the reality of my situation? It kind of seems that way, but I'm at least interesting shite. I'm not the I'm the you know, sparkler joy shite. Is there such a thing? So he's on my queen, and my queen doesn't have many good squares, so we get it out the way of a rook. And what am I doing next? Well, I guess bishop c6. But the question is, if he goes pawn here, am I going to move my knight away? Because he's forcing me very much backwards. And all of his moves seem very good so far. So pawn here, I don't really want to go backwards. Well, I think I have to try to get rid of this bishop. It's a very strong piece. So let's just eliminate his good pieces off the board. And pretty even position. Maybe his attack is a bit easier because he's got these pawn storm, but I'll get through. I'll get through somehow. Taking here and removing the queen to c6 is one idea. So he supports that one. And let's now open it up a little bit. So we're going to try this move because my bishop is not on d8, not doing anything. I'm just thinking of all my pieces. And at least now I can find a decent diagonal. And that knight seems like a good piece, right? So we can aim to exchange it off. But by putting a rook on e1, it would put me in a little bit of problems, because if takes, he can maybe take with a pawn. So again, he continues to play the moves which are somewhat annoying. Now where do I put my queen? Do we put it here? Because we've got to get it off this diagonal. And he moves the other rook in. So continuing to be a tough position, this. And this move is kind of annoying. I think I just have to play sensibly. I have to, you know, I can't get through to his king. So I just centralise my pieces. And I have to retreat. And now I have to retreat again. Which again, you know, I don't want to do this. But okay, if I can get my pieces in. Still alright. He has forced me backwards as predicted. But I've got some ideas. At least knight here, pawn here to get a grip on b3. Now, do we want to give up all the light squares and take that? Well, I'm going to, because it's an easy move to play, but I'm not sure I really wanted to do that. And is he going to be even greedy and grab that one? Who knows? So still unbalanced, but I do have a time advantage here, which it could be quite useful. I mean, I don't see why he can't grab that pawn. Maybe he should just grab it, right? But he's come back here. Okay, so the one thing that I want to do is get my queen somewhere a bit more juicy. So let's make a way for the queen to come out. And if he goes g5, maybe I can take there because his bishop's on pre. So he, again, keep trying to push him back. This one might be a mistake because now this one is a target, right? Can I take it? So he's trying to complicate matters. And he probably wants this idea. This is getting very sharp. Okay, so I'm going to go here because I've got my own ideas against b2. But he might... Okay, he could have actually taken that one first. So this queen coming in, I've really got to keep an eye on it. I don't know how I can really stop that now. And I need to create some threat. So his bishop's defending everything. Let's try to get rid of the bishop then, because then b2 is weak. Now, this square is quite solid. He needs 2 moves, and then he'll be doing well. But, okay, we threaten checkmate. So we are creating some threats. Now, his queen can't move in. Do I move my rook, or just play this move, getting a bit of more of a grip on that square? And again, this queen idea, scary. But he can't move his queen at the moment. And I'm just going to cover that square with my rook. So now he can try to move his queen. So again, let's try to get rid of that bishop. That bishop is a key defender. Right, we will get rid of that bishop. Because then b2 is weak. And now bang, our rook comes in. Double pressure on b2. I'm not sure if he can defend this. My back rank is weak, but he can't get to it. So we get there in the end. Was that smooth? I mean, for 2100, he played well, right? I mean, there's no easy games. I found this at the British Championships, actually. Like, I was playing 2100s every round, and they were... I mean, compared to when I first started playing chess, they're bloody good. They're bloody good. Okay, not a very good graph there, and it looks like I was losing a number of times in this game. 2200 performance. Hang on a minute, let me just adjust this. I know you can't see anything. I know you've gone blind, so I will add this. This is something, again, this program I have to use, chess.com, makes difficult. Okay, there we go. We'll add that in. And you can see it reckons I'm only 2200 after that game. The fucking insult of that, eh? The insult of it. So my opponent could have won here, and yeah, this is actually the mistake I did. I did notice that I should have, before going for b2, and this is the kind of mistake you can't make when you start playing the, you know, I need to warm up a little bit, is that he wants this idea. This is his one idea, and in chess it's obviously a give and take. You have to be fully aware of your ideas and your opponent's ideas. And after I went here, I suddenly realised that I think he can take this one and come in, because I've lost that important tempo. But the computer's indicating I still have rook there as a good move. So what was his move here? Well, it doesn't strike me as being straightforward anyway. Okay, let's not look at the game too much. It certainly wasn't a 2200 performance, even though the computer says I am shite. I'm not that shite. Just shite. Just your run-of-the-mill shite. Strong lineup today. Hikaru, Magneto, Nepo, Hans, who has established himself as one of the best blitz players in the world, I'd say, online. I'm not going to go into any of the... No, I mean, he's just a strong player, isn't he, in the things? So, yeah, a lot of strong players. So it's a really good title Tuesday. 400 players. I think maybe a lot less players nowadays, because hopefully they're making everyone. Be good to hear see if you watch other streams, everyone else is using this Proctor, which seems to slow down the computer somewhat. Well, maybe just slows me down. But maybe that's why the numbers are a lot less. But again, there's that argument. They're trying to cut down on cheating. Is it a good thing? I mean, unfortunately, cheating is a bit of a dilemma. There was some interesting, I think, podcasts with Fabiano and Danny Wrench. I have to admit, I haven't watched it. I don't really watch any other chess things. I find most stuff really boring. Like podcasts and streams. No offense to any of them. I'm sure some of them are brilliant, but I do enough chess anyway. I don't really want to watch anymore. Maybe that's why I'm getting worse and worse. Maybe I need to watch a Hikaru stream or two to learn how to actually play chess, you know. Maybe that is probably where I'm failing. But it was I hear interesting. Someone mentioned it to me. Oh, it's a great and Fabiano was talking about cheating. Someone said he came across as quite paranoid, but someone else said he was actually, and this is my opinion of Fabiano from my experience, like a gentleman, and that he was just showing an understandable worry. And I've, as you may or may not know, been doing a bit of reporting recently. So I've been over interviewing the top players, you know, all the top guys. Norway Chess, I did the top guys. And my experience is that spending a bit of time with them, you know, after interviewing and also, you know, sometimes in the bar afterwards just saying hello and stuff. Fabiano's just such a nice guy. And he really is just a genuine nice guy, it seems to me. One of the nicest guys there at the top. You know, everyone has preconceived ideas of people, right? Understandably. But Fabiano, yeah, I mean, my experience is that he's just a really good guy. And I would certainly trust him more than I trust anyone else, you know, at the top, even though I'm sure the other guys are trustable as well. Okay, I'm rabbiting on, and ramble on. That's the Led Zeppelin song. I'm going to castle queenside because it seems more fun. One thing I've realised, maybe I'm playing a little bit too passively recently. I need to I mean, what the fuck am I doing? You know, checkmate ends the game. So let's just try to checkmate. Stop flapping about and checkmate, Williams. None of this, you know, positional stuff. And this position seems quite interesting to me. My queen is clearly on a bit of a dodge square, so I'm going to move it back, but I've got this square for the knight, so I don't want him doing this with tempo. What you've got to do is try to get out of that kind of scenario. And here, this knight, well, it does seem a little bit dodgy. I mean, do I also consider this and then okay, let's go e4. It's a bit more punchy with the idea of going e5. That knight is a very good defender of his king. The standard way to try and checkmate is to get a knight to this square. Not sure what my opponent's idea is, because now I will throw this. I mean, taking here is also pretty tempting, and just go a bit more positional. But knight here, I think, is, I don't know, maybe taking was more sensible, I have to say. And now I want to get a knight to this square, correct? And his one break is c5. So this move I'm going to play. Just because, you know, if he gets c5, I think it's the only way he can get decent counterplay. I might even be able to play on the queen side and the king side, but I'm opening up this. So obviously this is another possibility, which I was thinking about. Now, do I put my knight here? I'm playing this a bit positionally. I'm just going to go for this, and I've got to decide whether to go positionally or checkmate. And I know obviously what I want to do, but I feel that this is the better move, because my queen can still come to e4. And like I say, if I stop c5, I should stop most of his play. Now, knight here, queen, have I miscalculated? Okay, no, this is all right. So he can't get his pieces in yet. And I'm hoping now to attack risk-free. Am I worried about this one? No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm going now for this knight g5 and queen takes h7 idea. This is another way we can get pieces around. This is another way. I just need to aim my piece at my opponent's king and not lose them time. Obviously here, this is a thing. His light square bishop I've made very bad from this knight c5 idea. So in we go. Let's do it. Let's try to force some weakness in his position. I don't want to lose e5, but he can't take it at the moment. And now I'll follow up with a queen, and my next idea will certainly be something to do with Harry. If I get a chance, maybe I can take his Harry and do my Harry and just go all in. That seems like a lot of fun. Okay, so he's whipping this one off, and he wants to move his rook here. So I need f4. Again, I'm still trying to stop his counterplay. This one would attack e5. So I want this move. And maybe I should have gone for this. Maybe I should have gone for this earlier even. Because now if I push, he takes my knight. Now, if I go here, he has the rook coming in. Bishop here is so natural. Now, I'm playing this very positional. I'm not really sure I like the way of playing this one. I could have just tried mating him. I'm just covering some more squares. D6 is a lovely square, and I'm making way for my G pawn. And this, I've taken quite a positional way to attack here. I mean, I'm really playing against his light square bishop. His light square bishop, because I've stopped him playing c5, is a terrible piece. And he's trying to do something over here, but it seems quite slow. Famous last words. Okay, now we attempt to keep things closed. I have to watch out for this, but my knight seems to cover all his entry points. And I just want g5 and h5. Slow attack. I've got this if I feel I need it. And now he's gone for the kind of tactic I maybe should have stopped. So I have to stop checkmate. Now I've got to be very careful, but I am at whole rook up. Okay, which might not be forever, because he's got this move, which is a pain, right? Okay, yeah, I don't know. My time's ticking down. I didn't want him to get this counterplay. Did not want this. I don't want this bishop coming here. This is not gone exactly the way I wanted it. So probably still doing well, but why have I allowed counterplay? So I want this because, again, don't want him having all the fun. We're into an endgame. I just want rook d1, eliminating his last dangerous piece. It's equal on material, but I like my position because of this pawn here. Now, got to be careful where I move my pieces. I don't want his bishops coming in. He wants this check. Oh, fuck. Did I allow? Played this so badly, I'm getting annoyed with myself. And I'm playing this still quite badly. So I've gone into... oh, shit. Slow mode. How do we play this better? Come on, Simon, you're better than this. You're playing this terribly. Such a good position, and I'm really not doing this well. I take that and go for a draw. No. Oh, God. Oh, come on. Oh, that was so bad. Didn't I make the move in time again there, it feels like? I mean, okay, I have fucked this up, but I don't think I'm worse here, and I'm still trying to win this position. I should never lose this. I'd be interesting to see what you guys see. It felt like I made that in time. I don't know. I mean, one thing I have noticed is Proctor gives lag, but maybe it's just me. You guys give your opinion on that. But that was really disappointing. I mean, he managed to get that counterplay. I should never allowed him to do that because I was totally dominating the game. I've been so lazy not to play on lead chess, but I mean, again, I'm moaning. Understand? I love finding something to blame when I lose a game where it's just myself, when I know it's my own fault. But what can you do? You know, you've got to find some reasons to moan. And okay, well, look, let's have a look, because I mean that was a bit. I'll be honest, that was a little bit pathetic losing that. It really. I mean, that was a game that I should never have lost in 100 years. Okay, we're in with another game, but. Okay, well, let's just try to bounce back. We probably won't have a chance to look at that. But first of all, I shouldn't have allowed him to get any counterplay. Why should I allow him to sacrifice? Even when he did sacrifice, I play a lot worse when I'm short of time. I just do. So I've got to try to keep a bit more up on the time. Play a little bit more instinctively. So that was another mistake. But it was really allowing him that counterplay because I was controlling the middle game and the opening. It was going very well for me. So idiot is all I can say. All right, anyway, let's move on. It's one game, not the end of the flipping world, even though it feels mildly like it. Chess can do that to a man. It's so hard to explain the emotions in chess unless you actually play the game. I'm sure most of you know it, especially if you're playing in competition. I mean, I normally just play 3-minute, on the setting. I don't really care about the result. But when I'm playing in a competition, the emotions you get, and I'm sure some of you experience, you only get this, you've got to get in that competitive mode to feel it. It's crazy how much a loss can destroy you. And you try to explain this to a non-chess player, and they're like, well, who cares? And it's like, well, who cares? Are you fucking crazy? I care. So painful. And then you win like a beautiful game. It feels nice, but I've talked about this before. You have a great win, you have a bad loss. To me, it does feel like, well, the bad loss hurts more so than a great win. But I don't know, they don't equate somehow. Right, what's happening here? So my opponent's moved his king over here, and I could dive in. Then he dives in here. Then maybe this one. Or I just try to open up the centre, because this move, it should work out quite well for me, because these two are basically bad. So I can probably just exchange off. Being a pawn down doesn't matter. His king is so exposed. And let's just try to exchange off his active pieces and get my rooks to the open lines. You probably noticed that I actually go wrong a bit when I'm trying to calculate long lines, I feel, in Blitz. It's better just to play an instinct in Blitz, I feel, generally. And instinct can get you a long way. Now, he might want this one, but I kind of want my bishop to go here. So I'm going to, again, just try to develop with tempo. So I'm aiming now. I put my queen there, so this rook can come here, this rook can come here. My thinking is his king is bad, his rook is bad. If he moves his bishop, I take there. This is at some point a major threat, as well as queen a6, because he's really got to watch out for the light squares towards his king. I mean, imagine if I have a rook here, it'd be checkmate. So queen here could well be winning. Now I have to calculate here, check here, check here. He seems to somehow be hanging on. And he's threatening my queen, so we got to give this check. This is clear. Get on the light squares. We don't want to exchange queens, but I can't see a win here. Immediate win. I mean, position is very good, and the threat is often stronger than the execution, because I'm incapable of working out a win with this check. I mean, he had knight there, but then f6 should win a piece. I'm just going to move the rook here because this is a useful move. I'm threatening to win the queen if I ever want to. This is still in the air. Was there a win there? Check, king c1. And obviously his king seems to, in a lot of lines, be walking into the c file anyway. So why not place a rook there? And his position has completely collapsed. This is the black line. I've done a chessball course on this, blah, blah, blah. Particularly on this variation. And now I think this should be a killer, because I want bishop c2, right? And he's going to have to put his king on the c file. So rook here seems to work very well. I mean, obviously, he can attempt to defend, but he shouldn't be defending this. I got this check. Is a very nice check because it stops his queen coming and defending these squares. This is quite beautiful, actually. And if here, I've got check, and if there, boom! That's more like it. That's what, you know, see, that's the kind of shit I should be doing to my last opponent. I'm still disappointed about that game. They hang with you losses, and I think one of the greatest skills of a top chess player, like Magnus, whenever he loses a game, he comes back the next day and he's twice as dangerous, right? He's like a rabid wolf. And one of the things is to move on quickly from a bad game and not dwindle. Is that a word? I think it's a word. Not dwindle too much on how crap you are, and sometimes, because we all can play crap, and how badly you mess things up. And yeah, got to take responsibility. And that last loss was mainly me getting myself in trouble, but it doesn't make it feel any better. Anyway, that was kind of a sweet game. And this little idea, f4 is a key line. So this idea of sacrificing a pawn with d5 is what I give again in my chessball course on the black line, and it is important. It is key, and it does give black loads of counterplay, because you can see I'm getting quick development. I think the best line when I was looking at this recently for white, I thought was bishop e3, and then if here, just something like this, and this I thought maybe gives white a chance of getting an advantage. This variation, don't accept the sacrifice pawn, just try to keep it closed down, because the problem black has in this position is this knight can be very bad, because if you ever go here with the idea of winning a piece, bishop c5, the bishop actually comes all the way back here, and you can attack the queen. Okay, so what? The queen goes somewhere, and now white is ready to go h3, and this knight has to go in a very bad square like there, and then g4 means that this knight is stranded. And I thought this was a very good way for white to try to play for an advantage, rather than get involved with the mayhem that happened in this game, because you can clearly see as soon as he played king f1, he's going to be in a tough position. And this is quite logical. I didn't calculate, but logically open up the position, so capture in the middle, open up as many lines as you can, because his king's weaker than mine, so you want an open position to attack, and his rook's out of play. So it's just logical thinking. Alright. So next round we'll be starting very soon, and let's go there. So we're on 2 out of 3. Let's try and get to 3 out of 4. We got another international master Indian player who's nearly 3,000, shall I say? I mean, Jesus, they just work so hard, the Indian players. I was speaking to a friend of mine, Danny Gormali, who and this is another Gambit line, could be quite fun. This is quite an interesting punt. Let's try it. Normally you play a4, but this has some. I haven't looked at it, but I remember we've tried it before, haven't we, Untitled Tuesday? And the idea is to maybe come over with this one. Can I do that now? G6, Queen here, E6. So I should just come back. And I was talking to my friend Danny Gormali, and he was teaching an Indian junior online, and it was quite funny that he was asking the junior how much work he does, and the junior goes, he teaches him once a week, and the junior, who's obviously another one of these incredibly brilliant players, said, I do about 8 hours. And Danny's like, oh wow, you do this, nearly bloody works. And then there, doesn't quite. That's nearly checkmate, but nearly's not good enough, is it? Now this one takes is also very interesting. Sorry, I'm talking. Well, talking's not terrible. Okay, let's give that a go. And he was like, wow, 8 hours, that's good, that's really impressive. A week, like with school and everything. And the kid goes, no, 8 hours a day. And he was like, whoa. What the fuck is wrong with you, young boy? And then he realised that he's a kid. He doesn't have a life, and like, you know, these things happen. But no, I mean, the amount of dedication is impressive. Sorry, I'm talking and I'm not calculating. Here, c3, takes, knight takes, rook here. Okay, I think this is all right. So c3, I can take. I hope, because his queen is pinned, and he is opening himself up. I mean, I guess rook here. Again, complex position, very, very messy, very murky. I always think, you know, king safety. I'm a big believer of that in the middle game, and my king, if it does get to g8, looks much safer. I mean, I might be wrong when he gets a rook there and checkmates me on g2, but sod law, that will happen now. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, if you want to get better at chess, it is the amount of work you put in. It's like, I suppose, like most things in life, you know, the more you put in, the more you get out, right, in anything. And we can't all be bothered to do that, because life's got other things. And at my point in life, I can't be bothered to do like an hour's work at chess. Well, I do a lot of research, shall we say, and stuff, but I don't work at my own game half as much as I should do. Now, which one? I don't know which one's better. Okay, this one's not good, because then I can't castle. So yeah, and Soslar, I'm now gonna get. Okay, should we grab and just be greedy? Because we might even just be able to play the ending. Not that is, you know, a very inspiring way to proceed with this one running. So yeah, if you do want to get better at chess, you've got to work out how much time really you're willing to put into it, because, you know, it's a tough mistress, chess. And I don't. Okay, what am I doing here? What am I doing? I'm thinking. Why am I thinking? I mean, thinking is supposed to be good. I can't take that one. Okay, we've worked that out. So, because there's rook, but he might. What am I doing? I'm thinking far too much. Now this move kind of looks not very good. I don't know why I did it then. I want a castle, and I don't want my bishop to be on pre. I've got this. He's going to go here, and I'll tell you what. Okay, I'm probably going to get absolutely spanked now on this square. As I've just like here, g3, queen here. I'm going to get spanked on g2, like I said. It's just like ridiculous considering. Why am I mean, this position should be good, but he's made it a little bit tricky. So I'm going to bail out. If maybe he can go queen here and keep the queens on, but I spent far too much time. This bishop here I didn't like. This was a bad move. And now queen here, and this is just a very messy position. And I think if you get the queens off, at least I have a very simple plan, right? You just push the pawn and try to get a queen. I don't know what material it is. It's not so important. I'm a pawn up as well, actually. I can count. Okay, so take with a pawn, I think makes more sense. And I've got a very easy plan, I say. Okay, let's move the bishop. And let's move the bishop. And let's now hoof it up the board. So this is my simple plan. And Simple Simon is going to go for a simple plan. Probably about, I don't know, it's just very murky, isn't it? My Harry is looking good. I'm somehow a pawn down, so maybe I can't count after all. But come on, Harry, do your shit. Okay, now that was a good move, because f4 would trap my bishop. So I had to put my king on a bit of a dodgy square, but maybe rook a1 now is also something I'm getting too short time, especially with this stupid. I'm gonna shut up now. And oh god, what's that? That's a good move. Oh fuck, a duck. Fuck. this maybe at the right time. Fuck a fucking duck, man. Oh, man. Oh, fuck off. Oh, Jesus. Fall apart when I get short time. Fuck it. Annoying. So again, another very good position against an Indian player, but they're very resilient. These two players I've lost to were very resilient. And it's just annoying. I just had to keep my cool out. This was a lovely position again, and got to concentrate better. And we're only on 50% now, so here it's beautiful. This is a beautiful position, and I should have just gone Queen D2 immediately and played it like that, because he can't even take this pawn because of Bishop B4. That's the point I missed. So this was just a really bad move. And of course I should put my bishop on F3. I was worried about not being a castle. I don't want to look at this anymore. This was another really bad loss from a very promising position. So I'll just do it to myself. I have to do better now. Alright, so we just have to do better now than we did there. Falling apart at critical moments, which is not a good sign. I mean, one thing I realised, you can get great positions, you can get bad positions. It doesn't matter, but when the game gets really mental, that's when you have to use that extra force. So I'm playing this Rapport Stonewall. I think I'm the only person to have done a video course on it. Have I somehow done something wrong? I should have gone knight e4. So even here I'm misplaying this. I'm in knight e4 first, so I can go bishop f6. God. And now I can go here and we get a line from the course, the GingerGM course, which you can download from gingergm.com if you want to learn more about this very aggressive idea. And I come to the conclusion that this position, I probably should have gone a5, just take the sting out of b4, but in general this position is very nice to play for black, because we can go here. I mean, do I flick in? I'm going to do it straight away. No point flapping about. I want to play more aggressively. So let's go and open up the king. I want to go this way later on. And this kind of middle game I've had many times before, and it's really bizarre because it's the only opening where you get this kind of madness, and you can only play these kind of indulgent moves on the king side, and they are quite indulgent when your king's in the middle of the board. You know how often you go f5, g5, h5. You can only play these indulgent moves because it's a stone wall, and the idea of the stone wall, ta-da, the name gives it away, is that it's a stone wall and it's really hard for your opponent to get past it. So you can only attack on the wing when you control the center, is really the basics of this opening. Otherwise the whole idea would be pants. And this position incredibly dangerous now, and like I've said, I've had this multiple times before, and my opponent is going to have to be extremely careful here not to get mated. And I'm just wondering if I can win very quickly with this move. I think we're going to play this first, because she probably has to go rook here, and then my bishop will come to f3 with some bite. I'm just going to go for this now. The light squares are where my opponent is weak, so let's try and bring in this baby here, and this looks like a killer to me. Bishop f3 is game over, and even if my opponent takes here, I've got bishop f3, and if I really want to, okay, I was going to go rook here, but that allows this one, so I don't really want to allow this check. I mean, the check, I do have knight e7. That's not the end of the world. So I think if the queen does come down, I can probably just take on h1 with the bishop. But can I be clever here and go bishop here? Stop this one. I'm going to try to be clever. Then rook takes here and does this one. So I probably shouldn't be doing any of this malarkey. Let's just go here first, at least. And I'm just trying to work out queen here with the idea of going rook d8 and dominating everything, because I'm trying to stop this check. But maybe queen g4 is even better actually, because I cover g8 and here. So I'm getting a bit greedy because I want everything. I'm sure bishop takes h1 is winning. Queen e6, knight e7. It's actually probably just very easily winning. Maybe I should just play that, you know, just take on h1. But now I've got so many tempting moves, because this one is nearly mate as well. Should we do this first? Am I getting too greedy? Check knight. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. So check. I've got knight e7, and I'm doing it this way because I'm threatening checkmate. So I don't think my opponent can avoid losing the rook anyway. And I probably should now take this one off. There is a knight coming in here. I've played this. Yeah, I mean, allowing any counterplay is a bit slack, to be honest. And I have now allowed some counterplay, but should never have allowed this. But I think this one, check, queen d8 should be good. Do I go here first? Or do we even play this mad move? No, I think this is alright. And I think I can go king f8. I'm pretty sure my opponent doesn't have a draw, because my king escapes. Here, check king g5. Yeah, I think I'm escaping. And if now king g5, and I don't think there's any more checks here, because I'm covering f6. But again, allowing this much counterplay was dangerous. My opponent's not going to be doing anything too scary here, because a queen versus a king is not going to damage me too much. My king, it's only a queen attacking me, and I'm covering all the checks. So this is the only other one. Can I come up the board to g2 in a lot of lines? So I'm gonna go here and oh fuck, I missed this check, but it should be all right. My king again will get out of the checks eventually, but a little bit slack, because I didn't need to allow any of this shit. This one as well. My opponent's been bloody tricky. So I'm going into the zone a little bit more, because I'm somehow allowing checks every bloody where. Unbelievable, the amount of bloody checks. And now this check. Fucking hell, what am I doing here? This is sad. I keep thinking she's going to lose on time as well. Oh my god, that queen is so bloody annoying. Go away! God damn it. Nearly mating myself. Oh my god, I have mated myself! Oh, Jesus Christ, Simon. Oh, how slack was that? I should never allow that knight to come in. It actually got quite tricky there. Oh, every game winning quite easily. I'm just falling apart today. Painful stuff. Okay, we'll have to get better now. So here, this is just so easily winning. I mean, I should... Maybe my instinct was right just to play queen here. I kind of feel I should just not get involved in any of these tactics. Just play the queen here to stop this check and go rook d8 next move. Why allow any counterplay? I thought I was safe, and I probably am safe, but my opponent, to her credit, made it tricky. Fuck. And I think the camera's obviously gone wayward as well. This oh dear, terrible today, terrible. This would have just killed it. Rook d8 next, and I'm threatening the rook. So this is just really easy. Stop the queen coming in. Don't even need to put this on the computer. Right, I'm just gonna cry a couple of tears, and then I really have to win like 5 in a row now. Have to. Okay, so we're going for a run of 5 wins just to try and feel better. And well, I've been getting some great openings with d4, d5, so I can't blame the opening. Let's just try to focus. As soon as I get a winning position, I'm relaxing a little bit too much. So we'll try this gambit again. This is a version of the Geller gambit. Now a4 is the main move, but this move is certainly tricky, right? It worked very well before. Why lose the tempo of a4? I can play a4 later. And I want to make way for my queen to come here and here. And my knight has a good square here. These are like the main ideas, I guess, behind it. And I think the first time I came up with this idea was by accident more than anything else. And yeah, I think I'm going to have to do some work at my chess after my performances recently. Bit of a bad British Championships, and like my plays just haven't been great recently. So everyone gets a little bit stagnated. And yeah, that's when change needs to be made. So we're going to have to do some change. Right, I'm going to play this like a lunatic now. And if my opponent keeps in this diagonal, I'm going to play e6. Now that might lose a piece. But I'm in one of those moods where I just don't care anymore. Now one line, and again I haven't checked this, is bishop here, b4. And if I move this knight, that knight drops. f4, pawn takes here, f5. That is completely bonkers. The boring git has just done a good move instead, which is always slightly annoying. And now it's a little bit harder to break through here. So what do we have to cut the position up? Well, f5 seems like my way to try and do stuff. So I'm not going backwards anymore. I'm not thinking about, yeah, my opponent can take this, and at least then I get some. I'd love it if the queen could jump, but if I go g5, the rook comes in. So now this might be playable, but it allows exchange queens. And I don't really want my opponent castling, do I? But it's never going to happen with this one. So how do we get in here? Now, I'm going to play this, but mainly because I want this square now. Wow, my opponent has ignored this check. Maybe that's a good move. And we got absolute craziness on the board again. Now, this is what I'm going for. And yeah, this, I don't know. I mean, just a really bizarre, wild position. Very complex. I think my king is safer, so again, I'll take my position over my opponent's position here. But we've got to keep this initiative going. Now I do have this check against this move. Then king here, I go there. So my opponent simply blocks. And we're going to keep hitting those targets, and a lot of my opponent's pieces seem to be fragile. Like, you know, the bishop is fragile, the pawn on e6 is fragile, and this move has unstabilized my opponent a little bit more. And I can't really call that Harry because that's more of a Gary pawn. It started on the g file, and the key thing, I've had winning position every game, just don't lose that focus. So my opponent has castled bravely. I didn't think that would be a possibility, so might as well throw that in one more square. And it could have been a wise decision. Now, I might have to go in with this, but do I flick this bishop move in first? No, let's go in. Threatening. Am I threatening anything? It feels like I should be threatening something here. My queen can always come back. The light squares are so weak in my opponent's position. And they still seem very fragile, especially if I can next move now, flick in a bishop to one of these two squares. Get that last piece working, mainly to connect my rooks, because then my rook's going to start doing stuff. And the other big threat is just to take the bishop and take the knight on e5. But these pieces are all very loose at the moment. So surely now I can do this. I can just take here and grab that knight. Both of these knights hanging in this position. And this is the simple solution to what was happening there. And as long as I don't fuck up here, it's game over. I'm going to win another piece on the next move. And my opponent surely can't fight on much longer here. I mean, what's the easiest way? Here, I'm just making sure I don't fall any tricks. Here I have to take with the king, but I'm not too worried. My king can come back. Got the two bishops. Yeah, it's a check. So what? My bishop's coming in next move, and it's only one more check. My rook covers everything, so I'm not going to get back spanked here. And if anyone's going to get back spanked, it's you, Mr. Begunov. You got a gun on your back there, and there is the spank. Okay, so that's the first. I'm only going to be happy if I manage to win another 4 more in a row now, after throwing away positions. So I'm, let's get more sight. Maybe I should be doing this puzzle rush or something like that before sharpening myself up. I see Hikaru does that. Not that I watch his streams. I saw it because he's always on the chess.com front page, isn't he? And I saw he was whacking on the puzzle rush. Yeah, we just have to keep. I mean, we're getting good positions, so I can't really complain about that. We're just not putting the ball in the back of the net. There we go. When I was just on the break, I just went on my phone, and I saw that Hans was complaining about Proctor, this program we're using. But I think the general thing is that Hans will complain about anything if it's chess.com. I mean, if chess.com did a campaign where they were, saving millions for starving children and, cats and young puppies, Hans would be like, oh my god, the chess mafia are at it again. Those bloody puppies. They're evil puppies. They're evil children. One of them's Satan's spawn. What are they doing? So, and because he's got grief for them, right? And the grief is a good little storyline as well. It's fun. It's fun to watch his grief for chess.com. And he's doing well out of it. So, all fair play to him. And like I said, he's proven himself to be a great chess player. But he was complaining about Proctor, saying it slows down his computer. My Wi-Fi where I am is terrible. So it could be another thing that's slightly affecting the speed in those critical positions, which is very important, right? When you're playing in an event, there must be a better system. Moan, moan, moan. That's all I seem to do nowadays. Moan, moan, moan. I need to be more of an animal and less of a bloody moaner. Stop it. I'm just letting out my grief. I'm just letting out those games that I threw away. Oh, that one against the woman was horrendous. Actually, the ones against the Indians, they were all, a little bit of bile came up in all of those ones. Oh, God. Right, so yeah, I'm going to have to start doing a bit of work at my coaching inquiries. Like I said, I'm going to offer up some. I've got to finish a chessable course at the moment, so that's kind of like a lot of work. Chessable courses. I'd love to have years to do a chessable course, because you want to really research the position as much as you can. But with anything, you've got to stick to a timeline. But that'll be finished in about a month and a half, and then I'll be free to coach, which I'll see how it goes. I mean, I think the thing with coaching is, right, it's got to be good for both parties, right? You want to have a good relationship, you want to teach, and you want them to learn. If they're not learning, what's the point? And if you're not teaching well, what's the point? So, could be fun. Be a bit of a laugh anyway, won't it? Bit of a laugh. And who is leading the tournament? Let's have a look. Who is leading? Old Weak GM. Who's that? Oh, I don't know. He's not there anymore. Well, we got an IM from Iran, Magnus on 6 out of 6. Oh, yeah, these are the normal, these people are always up there. Old Weak GM. Who is that? Is that Ronin Hazi? I think I played. He was under 21 world champion. I'm pretty sure I played him. Very not an old, and he's not a weak GM by any means. And there's that little geezer, Fastino. Any games going on? There's a couple, so let's see. What I bet it's rook versus rook. Is there going to be a rook versus rook? Don't show me a rook. And why don't people just resign? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get why players don't resign. Why is Black? Who is Black? Strong player. Why didn't Black resign there? I mean, you know, playing on till checkmate is a bit strange, but okay, you're allowed to do whatever you want. I don't care. Why am I judging? One more game going on, and well, yes, why not play on till the bitter end? And you're only a queen and a pawn down. You never know. Oh, that would have been stalemate there, but oh, it's a resigns. That's what we like to see. I'm turning into a resigns junkie. Give me some resigns. Gimme. Okay, so this is game 2 of 5 wins in a row. And we're playing, well, I've been to many a nightclub in my lifetime. Don't go anymore, really, because I never really enjoyed them. I only enjoyed the crazy, ravey ones, drum and bass, underground shite. And that looks like a bouncer I've incurred on numerous occasions. Vince, probably related to the mafia, I'd imagine. And I've been manhandled by numerous white-shirted sunglasses, mafia-looking bouncers in my lifetime. So, Vince, do you work as a doorman? This is the question I'm asking you, because you look like one. And it's not a bad look, is it? It's better than looking like you work at that, rather as a donut taster. You know, I'm more of the donut taster kind of guy. I've just actually started doing a bit more exercise. Well, I always do exercise, just eat and drink too much. I love cider too much, is my problem. And and this is actually all very common, by the way. This system is a very common plan. Now I'm trying to think of the way we play this, and I think some F6 move is the old line I used to play, and we just try to open it up and pray that we get some action. So can I now sacrifice here? I don't know. Takes, no, takes, pawn takes, knight takes, check, king here. Might just be a load of doodah. So what are we doing here? Okay, I'm going to go here to threaten this pawn first, because I can't take that pawn last move because he takes and takes here with check. So now I'm threatening this pawn, right? Because if he takes. And now if he defends that with a knight, I'm definitely going to sacrifice something. Now, this is a normal sacrifice, but I couldn't make it work in that last position. So if I take here, he might come in with a counter sacrifice, or he might come in here and try to get the queen in. But then it's going to get very exciting. This is also the other way, but I don't think this pawn helps him. The check here. So let's go for this, unless I'm missing. Well, I'm probably missing something, but if he goes bishop e3, I take here with check. So let's go for this option. So I've got to try and get rid of his center to get to his king, and I think he's going to start coming towards my king. So this is a very interesting position. Crazily double-edged. And I feel, what are we doing next? I don't know. It depends what he does, but if I take, can we keep going like this? This knight takes here. Well, I'll probably try that. You know, then we want to mobilize the middle of the board, these guys up. So I was saying, I started doing a bit of exercise. I started doing a bit of sparring again. Did 7 rounds of boxing this morning, which was fun. I like a bit of boxing, even though a bit of a fat git. It does help absorb the punches, and I've still got a bit of energy. 7 rounds is tough. 7 rounds of sparring is not easy. Okay, so he's trying to come this way now. Now, do we go here or do we capture? Because capturing seems to free up his pieces. Now I'm going to go here. Again, I don't want to get too short a time, because if I get rid of his light square bishop, he can't attack me. And I have won a pawn, so I don't want to help this knight on g1 get out. So taking there was interesting and maybe a sacrifice, but now his bishop's not there. When I capture here, I'm not attacking the bishop, so I'd have to deal with the queen over there, and that I couldn't see a good response. So this move has a couple of ideas. Knight e3, not now because I will get mated, and he has his own ideas of coming here, but I have now surely a bit of time. So takes, there's not this, is there? That would be stunning, but now here, this one's still dragging me. Okay, so he really wants g4. Now g6, I don't want to go into, I want to get rook here. Okay, I think we're going to end up sacrificing somehow. Here, g4, knight here, takes, rook takes. That looks interesting. Let's do it, because I want to get this bishop and rook in. We don't mind losing a piece here. So here, and then knight here is my idea. Okay, I'm going to play it quick. We've got 2 pawns for the piece. There's probably something as in compensation, and I've got a very nice knight, and I've got ways to improve my position. Bishop d7 here. Feel my king is safer than his, and my idea here is just to simply play this, because if he takes here twice, these light squares become available. Okay, so he's finding some good moves. Oh, I'm gonna have to try keeping on this diagonal, I think. And bishop b5 is the other move I kind of want to work. So if he takes here twice, the light squares become very strong. And the other thing is rook f8. So I'm liking my compensation. This seems like fantastic. His pieces are all kabuggled, discombobbed, drunk as. So he's grabbing this one, and now I go here without thinking, and this is surely tremendous now. Everything defending there, but how do we get more on it? Here, take some crazy shit like that. Okay, I want to get my queen over here somewhere, so let's go this way. Let's bring it over to one of these two, because that increases every single piece attacking his pin knight then. So check here, back rank. I'm just gonna, no, that's a bit of a sad move. Check here, rook takes knight. Okay, I'm gonna get back spanked. I'm gonna go here because I want to have this one. Okay, now my queen comes over. His knight is pinned, remember? He's trying to unpin it. And he'll probably take this now. And, okay, he's cracked under time trouble and in a difficult position. And he's probably lost in that position. I mean, that was an okay game. What did I say? 5 wins in a row? 3 to go. It's all in the mind, chess. It's literally all in the mind. Everything is in the mind. Okay, maybe, you know, some of these games are going better. But I find, like, you know, if I've tried meditation, maybe you guys can suggest some good meditation, but I find, like, yeah, something like boxing or something like that, better meditation, something, you know, mildly violent, or exercise is good meditation, or going down the pub with your friends. Meditation, I sit there and I try to control my breathing. I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to the pub. You know, I'm just like, I can't do it. I wish I could. You know, I mean, I can sort of slow down, and but I really need to practice it more. And I have, like, you know, vaguely tried it. I'd love to be one of these yogis, or, you know, to get into deep meditation and be able to, like, you know, get myself into an altered spirit state, something like that. But I can't do it. Unfortunately, it has to be either through endorphins or something else normally that does that. That was a good game though, right? I think that was a good game, but as soon as I put it on the computer, it's going to say it wasn't a good game. But let's have a look, because it's interesting to see what the computer thinks. So this is quite an interesting position, and actually it says I can take there. How the hell can I take there? Oh, I can take there and I sacrifice like that. Right, so what's wrong with this one? So he should go bishop b1, and my position's not very good, so I have to sacrifice. And g5, yeah, I remember g5 being one of the main moves, but so hard to remember these things over board. So g5's it. Okay, I'm just looking. This is an old variation that the bouncer played against me. And now I'm doing well. Now I play some good moves. And this, it wants me to exchange queens, but that's never going to happen because that ain't the way I roll. This is much more fun. And look, the sacrifice is still sound. And here we go. And he's got a very difficult job of defending now. He manages it for a while. But this must surely be losing. And I probably... G5. What a move. Bloody hell. That is a move I did not consider. I mean, this is such a normal move to play. But it's G5 again. It's funny how he's just hanging on here. And this move, he can now defend. Wow, by probably re-sacrificing. But I was playing a little bit on his time. Maybe this is a mistake I'm making. I shouldn't be playing my opponent's time. And I've got 2 pawns. And, oh wow, I missed rook c4. So right at the end, see, this is what I'm doing in every game. I'm relaxing with my opponent's short of time. I'm letting him right back in the game. And had he found rook c4, which is very hard with 5 seconds, but what, you know, someone like Hikaru would have played that and won, then it would have been a different ball game. So even in that game, I'm allowing the bouncer to throw his uppercut at me. Bloody hell. There we go. All right. I'm also thinking about shaving the beard off because I've realised I had this beard for about 10 years, and I can't remember what my face looks like underneath it. You know, I used to have like a crew cut and shaved hair. Oh, this guy's strong. And okay, so we have to win another 3 to win 5 in a row. But I've lost this guy a couple times before, so I'm gonna try to play focus more here. I really want to win this one. Surprise, surprise. And this is all pretty standard. Now, is this a move? I think this is a move that I've played recently in... So I should know what moves I'm playing. This is a move I think that David Howe basically suggested to me as a very interesting idea. And I played this in a tournament in Northern Iceland, and I wish I could pronounce it. It's by a lake in Northern Iceland. There's a lot of lakes in Northern Iceland, but this lake is a fucking big lake. My Tynan, one of the most amazing tournaments I've ever had the privilege to play in. And I think I played A4 earlier in that game. I've misplayed this a little bit by not doing that. And we might have to go all in with the attack. So he stops that. And yeah, I misplayed this slightly. Okay, well, we'll still throw pieces in his general direction. Yeah, that was an amazing tournament. And then I'm playing one tournament in Rhodes. Sounds amazing. Holiday Resort. And then I've got another tournament in a place called Alta. And Alta is well, you have to look it up. ALTA. It's one of the, I think it's the most northern city in the world. So I'm excited about that. But okay, I'm not concentrating enough. And the reason I'm laughing, my departed friend, Gavin, who you may have saw I did a video on. Last time, he was a brilliant quiz guy. And last time I saw him for a beer or two, I was telling him I was going to Alta for a tournament. And because he knows everything, used to know everything, bless his soul, about everything, I was asking him... you know, he's a brilliant general knowledge guy. And I was saying, do you know where Alta is? And he was like, Alta? There's not such a place as Alta. And he even Googled it, his phone, and his phone couldn't find it. And I'm like, what kind of fucking phone do you have? Like, you know, a 1960 burger phone. Can you remember those babies? They were cool. And it was quite amusing because I showed him, and eventually he did realise there was a place called Alta, and it's one of the only times in my life where he's admitted to being wrong. So that was a funny moment with Gavin. Rest in peace, my friend. Okay, so this is again murky. My opponent is playing pretty standard defensive moves, and I don't want to get short of time, so I'm playing quite quick, and I'm playing quite logical. I sacrificed the pawn here in what I thought was an interesting way. This bishop is so strong, I'd love to get rid of it. I can't see an easy way to do that. So, it seems a bit clumsy, this move, but f2 is an issue, so I want this rook to come to one of these two squares. And now take the knight, because I have to defend f2, right? Can't allow this f2 square to drop. And maybe I'm a little bit worse here, because obviously he does have this extra pawn. How do we get... And this is all a bit clumsy. It's just this piece is so strong. So what are we doing about that? Don't know. His light squares, can we do anything there? Knight here. Not sure this does a great deal. But I want to try and generate some ideas on the light squares around his king. So I think then can he take there then? So maybe we flick this one in first. Even though I don't know, it just kind of gets in the way of shit, this bishop. Okay, I'm just going to play a move quickly. I don't know if it's best. And then we revert to this. Again, this one is also possible, no? Maybe it's not possible. Maybe I've just blundered. I want this, yeah, clearly. But taking here, queen here, takes here, takes, and he mates me. But he's gone defensive. So is he threatening this one? I think he might be, no? I mean, I could have grabbed there, but then what do I do if he takes my pawn? Okay, my back rank is... Does he want this? Okay, let's try and get on those light squares again. Which one, here or elsewhere? Got to come at him now on the light squares. Trying to check. This one just feels right, but I can't get it to work. He's going to swap queens, we're not careful. Fuck, Dirk. Can't get through, can I? Feels something's not worked here, isn't it? Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I mean, this is not cricket anymore. His pawn's scary. Is an understatement. Fucking hell. I'm looking at time, and time is... again, no excuses. Oh, okay, right at the end there we got right back in it, but disappointing again. So let's just see a couple of moments we should check out with the computer. And it didn't really seem I had enough, but I mean we did win a piece right at the end, but it's probably not even enough there. Yeah, we're still completely lost here, unfortunately. Queen d4. And so I'm just trying to think where I went wrong in the opening, and what I feel I did wrong here. It's weird. It's not. It's okay. Maybe I should be doing something else here. I played a4, didn't I? Then he went c4, which seemed like a good move. And yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'm just thinking how I should play this. Maybe I have to play it a bit more positionally. We didn't really get enough. Ever get an attack, did we? He never really got enough. So, well, I think my opponent played pretty well there. And let's just try to get through the last bloody rounds this Title Tuesday. It's been a painful one. I'm gonna have to rebuild. We got a little break now. We're only on 4. We got 3 games left. 9, 10, 11, 5, 6, 7. I want to get 3 out of 3. Only way to recover. Okay, I think we're going to need the Rhinoceros coming out the water on Magic Mushroom Gambit time. If you know what that is, this is the little Rhinoceros poking his head out the water, looking to the left, and this is the Gambit. And we follow up with h5, and I'm just going to try to play some random stuff. Because, why not? Let's create some chaos on the board. It's been far too sensible today, and I'm losing a horrible amount. And we want to win 3 games. Look at him, he's playing so sensible. And we're going to try to pretend that the Rhinoceros poking its head out the water. He's playing good moves, bastard. On Mushroom Gambit is good. And here it is. That is the little Rhinoceros. So that is the star. That's the star of the show. That is the one that's going to win the medals today. I'm not sure I'm believing this. Okay, so we need to control this square. Safe. Now, the whole point of this the little Rhinoceros Gambit is that you get this very, very dangerous F file to attack on. F for Rhinoceros. For ferocious. And here it is, the ferocious Rhinoceros is starting to slowly let his charge be heard. And we now have to think what my parents are trying to do. He wants to swap off, so we have to develop. Let's poke that little pawn over there. Pokey pokey. Pokey pokey. And this is going to win the game. You watch that gambited pawn early on is such great compensation. It's amazing compensation. Clearly this is enough. I knew he was going to go there. We keep the queens on and we home in on the target. There it is. Locked and loaded. And what are we doing next? This little guy wants to have some fun. Can he get back around? This little guy would love to poke its head there. I'm a little bit worried about this. But then the knight does knight noises and jumps in. And is this so bad? What does that mean? Show your flair. I am, my friend. I am. Once I finish my Stonewall course, and I've started a bit of coaching, this is going to be my next chessball course. Maybe I'll release it on GingerGM. I'm not sure if chessball will be very happy to have this released under their name. So he wants this pawn. So okay, you want that pawn? I defend that pawn. Stabilizer. I need stabilizers in life. One of the favorite expressions my friend told me. Hello there, Bjorn. And I think this is an expression his mum, Oddbjorn. It's an expression his mum came up with, which I thought was fan bloody tastic. And it was, I think, things always go tricky in everyone's life, but remember, the brightest part of the day is the dawn after the after the darkness. And I think we have to just, we're just keeping it calm. Was that life is not for amateurs, and I just thought that is such a great expression. I love it. Like life is not for amateurs. Unfortunately, we're all, I think we've all, had ups and downs, but that is just saying about that expression. Life's not for amateurs. It can be pretty brutal at times. Okay, so he's coming in here. What the flip am I doing? Now I'm kind of thinking about exchanging queens, but that's so pathetic. I don't know what else to do, because I have to stop this maneuver, right? But this is still okay, because he's critically wounded his position by playing f3, because he's got a massive hole on e3. Disillusional comes to mind. And he's had to cover this by moving his king into a very sad situation. And that king is now in mortal danger of something, another. And the pressure seething down the Edward the E file is palatable for all to see. Is that even a word? Palatable? Probably. And we slowly push forwards, grinding our way into his structure, with possibilities of infiltrating into the weakened, the slightly dubiously placed pawn on e3. At the same time, we use all our pieces and pawns to gain territory, whilst pushing our opponent into a hole which he can never recover. He will keep going backwards, because what else can he do? Resistance, as they say, is futile. We have created a very dangerous pass pawn. And now with some bespoke maneuvers, we're going to tickle his balls. Okay, what are we doing? Come on. Time. And he can come in here, I know, and he does. He's playing actually quite well, which is not very nice of him. And like I said before, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. It's just what happens when you get short of time. And we're infiltrating. Oh, no. I didn't even see that bloody move. I didn't see that move, because now he's stopped everything. And I'm going to have to come up with an absolute miracle here. But as Jesus once told us, miracles happen. And I'm still thinking where that miracle is going to come from. Haven't found it yet. Okay. This is a target. Let's go for it. Tally-ho, old target. And we're trying anything we can here. He is very short of time. And there we go. We win in the centre of the board. As planned all along. That is the Rhinoceros. What was it? Rhinoceros appearing from the water. Looking to the left. Having some magic mushroom gambit. That is a wild rhinoceros noise. Let me get my rhinoceros sound deck out so we can hear the rhinoceros make some noise. Let me just get very technical here. Set it up. Okay, you ready? Okay, there we go. That was kind of fun. It was a load of bollocks, but who cares? And that just proves my point. It doesn't actually matter what you do until you get short of time. And then just everything goes mental. And my opponent, the poor guy, I guess it's a guy. I can't read the name. That does look like Russian to me, which has a different alphabet. I wish I'd learnt Russian as young. Well, I wouldn't be able to. I'm too stupid to learn Russian. But my friend speaks. I have a couple of friends who speak Russian, and they've had some great times over in St. Petersburg and Moscow. I'd love to have gone there. Maybe not so much now, but in the past. And it just sounds like one of those languages for a chess player. It's probably not that relevant now, but for a chess player, when you had these old Russian books, it would have been great, wouldn't it, to have learned, some weird. I say weird language. It's weird for us lazy English people who don't learn any languages at all. Okay, anyway, your guess is we've got 2 games left. I can still get 7 points, so it's not bad. What is my next opening going to be? Is it going to be sensible? And what is the name of it going to be? I don't know yet. I'm going to have to think on my feet. And can we push it through and get a win? Right, so we are going to play the Acid Gambit. And the Acid Gambit starts with this little move, and then you stop your opponent's ideas whilst gaining space on the wings. So you come up and in, and then you get a very normal position like this, and you play chess. So this is the Acid Gambit for you. Rightio, so we now have like a reverse Sicilian if my opponent goes here. So who knows how different it's going to be with these 3 moves played in. And yeah, I mean, the thing in chess is you can literally play anything, I think, in the opening. And I think the idea is just to have some fun sometimes. I mean, I take Title Tuesday a bit too seriously. I just got to chill, man. Just got to chill out, man, and enjoy it more. And just go with the flow. So we've got a weird position, and now I really want to go. I'm just going to play it. And it seems logical. I don't even know what that means anymore. If he goes here, okay, so we're going to go here, and right. So what's next, Mr. Bond? This is defended. Do we have to go here? I don't really want to for some reason. Let's go in and hope that does something. And if he moves his e-pawn, what are we doing there? That's a very good question, actually. Oh shit, that's a really... Okay, so I have to go here. I have to try and counter with something in the middle. And I'd love to go back here, but I'm getting a little bit concerned about this idea. So there's not really any good option, is there, at all, of dealing with this. And that G4 was, well, I say a little bit over the top. My position was a little bit over the top anyway. So if we're going to lose a pawn, we might as well lose another pawn. So let's go forwards rather than retreat, because I had horrible thoughts of him coming in this way. And his knights are very strong. This is also something I'm slightly concerned about, only slightly, because my position's so bad it doesn't really matter anymore, I say. And we have to defend this. Now, what are the positives? The positives are I'm still alive. The dark squares could be good, but he's got a lovely blocker here, and I've got a little threat over there. So these are the positives. What are the negatives? The list is by far too long to go into the negatives of this position. So I'm going to whip this one off and try and avoid getting mated. Now, have I covered everything? The bishop covers his knight. The rook covers the other knight, I think. Now, this one and this one be the kind of shit I'm looking at, but it doesn't seem to work for him. So at the moment, I may be covered. I say that because I'm not convinced. I would love to do something like this, 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 and castles. Then I'd be like, yeah, time to rock and roll. And he's gone back. Just the kind of move that we like to see. So, okay, let's play quick. Now, that does indeed stop my plan. If he ever goes here, I've got b6, because that very clever the acid Gambit comes in. Okay, he's coming over here now. Wahaha, he wants this one. Well, what can I do? I mean, my position... I was going to say, the good thing about having a terrible position is it can't get much worse. I'm really tempting fate by saying that. And now this is my big hope. So let's keep the knight. How am I ever going to remove that? And my king is not in a good spot here. So rook here. With ideas, a queen takes here. I mean, could that be nearly brilliant? Queen takes here, knight takes there, king h8. Fuck me, it nearly works. Unfortunately, in this weird world, nearly is just not good enough. Takes, check, here. Takes, he comes back with a knight. That's a real issue I've got. So it's actually very close. Very close. Queen takes here, knight takes, check, king here. Am I missing anything? I don't think... I don't know what I'm going to do here. Okay, I can't get it to work. Let's hope he moves his knight, and then we come in. It's not going to happen, is it, Simon? You fool. I'm going to get my king out of the way. Oh, fuck, he just takes it. What is that? Terrible move by me. I mean, at least I put up a fight, and I didn't put up a fight. Oh. Okay, the only interesting moment of that game was nearly, and I think we're going to be proved that this doesn't work. Nearly this... Oh, he can't take it. What have I missed? What have I missed? I thought he could take it here. Oh, for fuck's sake. So I really wanted to play this move, but I thought he could capture. But I can go here, and now here. And obviously, he can't go here because he gets mated. Check here. But he can, I thought, play here. But in actual fact, I can still go knight g6 here and take here. And this is not so bad for me. Oh, okay. Last game incoming, and I promise you we will do better next week. We're going to get the mind in the right place and focus more. But at least from my perspective, there's only one game to go. Thank goodness for that. Okay, well, we got 100% with the Rhino, so we're going to have to Rhino it up here and see if we can get over 50%. We're on 5 out of 10. We're playing a very dangerous player from Peru. I found the Peruvian players very underrated. Maybe because they don't play so many games. Has she fallen asleep? Where has she gone? What's she doing? Who knows? Maria.